When I heard about the deadly COVID-19 that had broken out in China, I really wasn't very concerned because, well, that was the other side of the world, and how could it affect us? How wrong could I be? We soon realised the seriousness of this deadly virus, and we were all in danger, especially us with our ages, although with no underlying illnesses. Immediately there was panic buying and everything shut down. The worst was finding out that we couldn't see our family until further notice. This was like nothing we have known in all our years. I thought my cupboards, fridge and freezer were well stocked because surely it would only last a few weeks. Thank goodness for our family, our wonderful neighbour and food delivery drivers. They told us that we had to start getting set up on video communicating apps, but I didn't know how to do all that. During the first weeks of lockdown, I was very emotional. I was frightened for me and for my husband, John, and for our friends because the news said that we were the ones that were going to see the deaths. A lot of stuff has been said about people living on their own, people in flats, those with young children, people with disabilities, and the worry of job loss. But nothing was said about what it's like being living with a spouse with dementia. Although Age UK rang every week for me to have a chat with them, but nevertheless, I knew it was going to be a lonely few months. We had a good social life before, coming and going, and great stimulation for John, especially at his age concern class on a Friday. Suddenly everything shut down, and we were self-isolated, except for our daily walk where we like to talk to everyone and pat their dogs. We met a man the other day with a little cockapoo who looks a bit like my son's dog, Otto. So we told him and he said, "I know, I've met Otto." I think their dog is a celebrity. My son and his family dropped by and they got me started on WhatsApp so we can video call. It's taken me a long time to get my head around it, but I think I'm getting the hang of it now. Each Sunday at 8 p.m. we do a group quiz. Obviously John's not very good at it at all. I explain the questions to him and he nods and smiles, but he doesn't know what I'm asking. Actually, he did get a question right about John F. Kennedy the other day, and the whole family went, "Ooh," and he chuckled. But I'm just as bad as John at getting the questions right. I'm useless at it. But I only go on it to see my family. I like to see my grandchildren. I like to see what my granddaughter is wearing, whether she decided to get ready today and do her makeup and get dressed, or if she's in a hoodie and joggers. I like to see my grandson Hayden get all excited when he knows the answer to a question, which is normally every single one because he's very, very clever. I like to see my daughter and her husband. I like when they tell me what they've cooked for dinner. It's normally something quite fancy like paella. I love seeing my son and daughter-in-law's dog Otto. Every time we video call, he runs around every room of the house confused because he can hear our voices, but he can't find us anywhere in the house. This is the highlight of my week, actually. I really love it. Me and John, we like to keep our routine. We wake up at 7 a.m. every day and have our morning tea and Weetabix. But with John, I'm having to explain 2 or 3 times a day our position. And we keep asking things like, are we going out? Are we seeing the family and friends today? Put the sports on TV. Are you going to church? Stuff like that. Quite often he talks a load of rubbish, does silly things, and he can get quite bad-tempered, soon forgotten, and lazy, no stimulation. I believe his dementia has become worse over the last 3 months. Whether because of lockdown or not, we will never know, and I'm not sure I'll ever go out again leaving him on his own in the house. When he's quiet like this, he looks vacant. I wonder what he's thinking about. Is he even thinking at all? I like to think he's playing Shirley Bassey or Frank Sinatra songs on his head, because of the odd time I look over to him and he's humming a tune and tapping his feet. He loves their music. Maybe when he hears them songs, he thinks of our memories together, like our times when we were courting and we would dance for hours and hours on end. Or maybe he thinks about all the times we got into silly little fights when we were in our 20s, about nothing, but we could never stay mad at each other for more than 5 minutes. We'd look at each other and start laughing, and then the music would go back on again and we'd be dancing again together. It's been good recently. We've enjoyed being in our garden. Now there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we started visiting family and friends in their gardens, getting out and about in our car, and even doing our own shopping. It's too easy to feel sad and depressed, but I know one day I'll be able to hug my family, have a glass of sherry with my friends, and go back to the Sunday services and the Monday group. It'll all be okay again soon. Whatever has happened to us, though, is nothing compared to the sadness suffered by thousands of people, and thank God that we have stayed safe and well.